PDP at the crossroads. The appeal court has reset the game by Dr. Don Pedro Obaseki, MBA, PhD. My people, welcome back to Royal Media. Thanks for always being here. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because this channel brings to you verified news. By affirming the restraint on the recognition of the Ibadan Convention by the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC), the court effectively weakened the legal scaffolding upon which the disputed leadership structure was built. But the judgment stopped short of declaring any competing faction the legitimate leadership of the party. My people, let's listen to the detail of the story. The immediate reaction that follows the recent judgment of the Court of Appeal on the disputed convention of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) in Ibadan were entirely predictable. Within hours, rival factions within the party rushed to declare victory, each presenting the ruling as confirmation of its own political legitimacy. Yet a careful reading of the judgment suggests a more subtle and subsequent outcome. The court did not crown a winner, instead it reset the game. By affirming the restraint on the recognition of the Ibadan Convention by the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC), the court effectively weakened the legal scaffolding upon which the disputed leadership structure was built, but the judgment stopped short of declaring any competing faction the legitimate leadership of the party. This distinction is crucial. In Nigeria's constitutional practice, courts generally avoid installing party leadership. Their role is limited to determine whether due process was followed. Where procedural irregularities are found, the court validates the effective processes. The court validates the effective process and return the political actor to their internal constitutional mechanism to resolve the disputes. What the ruling therefore creates is not victory for one side, but an institutional reset. In constitutional terms, the party is effectively returned to the status quo ante, the position that existed before the disputed convention was held. Yet, even the position is not entirely stable. The crisis within the People's Democratic Party had already begun to resolve around another strategically important office, that of the National Secretary. Public commentaries often assume that the national chairman is the principal power center of a political party. However, within the administrative architecture of Nigeria electoral politics, the national secretary plays an equally crucial role. Many official communications between political parties and the Electoral Commission require the joint authentication of the national chairman and the national secretary. Without the secretary's endorsement, crucial party actions from convention notification to candidate nomination can become procedural defective. This is why the dispute surrounding the office previously held by Senator Samuel Anyanwu has become such a central battlefield. If disciplinary measures taken during the disputed convention lose their legal footing, the attempt to suspend certain officers may collapse with the convention itself. In such circumstances, the administrative signatory structure of the party remains unresolved, prolonging the leadership ambiguity. Yet the issue extended beyond any single office. The deepening constitutional question concerned which organ of the party now has the authority to restore stability. Within the PDP's constitutional structure, that responsibility falls primarily on the National Executive Committee, between National Convention, NEC, functions as the highest governing authority of the party. It supervises the National Working Committee, resolves internal disputes, approves disciplinary actions, and determines the timetable for National Convention. In effective, NEC is the governing cabinet of the party. Within NEC itself, one bloc traditionally wield considerable influence. The governors elected on the platform of the party, while the Governors Forum is not formally recognized as a constitutional organ. Each governor participates individually as a member of NEC. Beyond their individual votes, governors often exercise significant influence over state party structure, legislators, and delegates. When governors align behind a common position, they can shape the direction of the party's internal decision. These dynamics has long defined internal party politics in Nigeria. In moments of internal crisis, governors frequently become the stabilizing or sometimes decisive force capable of guiding the party back towards institutional order. Unfortunately, the PDP Governor Forums, as presently constituted, is subsequently weakened by serial defection in recent time. Running parallel to NEC is another important body, the Board of Trustees. The constitution of the party describes the People's Democratic Party Board of Trustees as the conscience of the party, comprised largely of senior statesmen and long-standing leaders. The Board of Trustees functions primarily as a moral and advisory authority within the party. Although it does not normally exercise executive control over party administration, the Board of Trustees' role becomes particularly important during periods of internal fragmentation. Its collective moral authority can provide a platform for reconciliation by bringing rival fractions into dialogue and encouraging institutional solutions rather than prolonged litigations. In the present circumstance, a pragmatic pathway out of the crisis may involve the BOT convene an emergency consultation among party elders to facilitate a temporary political truce. Such an intervention could recommend suspending punitive action linked to the disputed convention while encouraging the rapid convening of an emergency NEC meeting. Through that mechanism, NEC could clarify the status of disputed offices, restore administrative coherence within the party, and establish a timetable for a fresh national convention conducted in full compliance with both Electoral Act and the party's constitution. Three broader lessons emerged from the Court of Appeal ruling. First, the judgment reinforced the principle that courts will not serve as the ultimate managers of internal party politics. Judicial intervention may validate defective procedures, but it cannot substitute for the internal democratic processes of political organization. Second, the ruling highlights the importance of constitutional discipline within political parties, conventions, disciplinary actions, and leadership transition must adhere strictly to both parties' rules. and statutory electoral requirements. Third, the decision returns responsibility squarely to the leadership of the party. The PDP must now determine whether it will resolve its internal conflict through dialogue and institutional mechanism or continue along a path of fractional confrontation and litigation. The stake extends beyond the internal affair of a single political party. As Nigeria gradually approaches the next electoral cycle, the credibility of opposition politics will depend heavily on whether major parties demonstrated organizational stability and internal democratic culture. Political parties that cannot manage their own constitutional processes struggle to convince the electorate that they are prepared to govern a complex democratic state. For the PDP, the Court of Appeal's ruling represents not a defeat nor a victory, but an opportunity, a moment to restore constitutional order and rebuild internal consensus. Whether the party sees that opportunity will shape not only the outcome of its present leadership struggle, but also its role in the evolving balance of power in Nigerian politics. Implications for Nigeria's 2027 politics. The deeper significances of the ruling extended into the emerging political calculation ahead of the 2027 election cycle. A stable and credible opposition is an essential component of democratic competition. If the PDP resolves its internal crisis through lawful and transparent processes, it may yet reposition itself as a viable national platform capable of contesting power effectively. If, however, the crisis degenerates into prolonged fractional conflict and litigation, the party risks weakening its institutional credibility at a moment when Nigeria's democratic system requires strong and organized political alternatives. The Court of Appeal has reset the board. What happens next depends on not the judiciary, but on the political maturity of those entrusted with the leadership of the party. Written by Dr. Don Pedro Obaseki, MBA, PhD, is a political analyst and public affairs commentator. So my people, what is your take on this? Please drop your comments below the comment section. And if you like this video, please subscribe to this channel. We sincerely